There's a total of 11 challenges in the Squid Game series, but which is the best one? Starting off with number 11, Tug-of-war. Well, I'm not saying that it was a bad game, but it's the worst one of them. Each game had something that made it super unique, but Tug-of-war is just way too simple. And yeah, I know that there are more super simple games, but unlike this game, they have something more exciting in them. Tug-of-war is all about strength and yeah, also strategy, because Sang-woo saved his team by his genius plan. However, it was the most boring game in my opinion. Even more boring than number 10, Squid Game. We can probably all agree that the ending wasn't very good, and neither was this game, the last game of Season 3. It's not even the original Squid Game, which is a popular children's game in South Korea, but it's just 3 platforms in the shape of a triangle, square, and circle. Basically, all you have to do here is push our opponents off these platforms. Again, it's a pretty primitive game, but because it was so important, I've decided to put it higher than Tug-of-war. Plus, who the hell were some of the finalists? I feel like we've seen these guys for the first time in this scene. But enough talking about Squid Game, let's move on to the real version of the game. Number 9, Squid Game. And before you say, dude, why did you put this game so low on the list? It's literally the name of the whole series. Yes, I know, but also, this game wasn't one of the most exciting ones. Sure, it was an epic duel between Gi-hoon and Sang-woo, however, it lacked the proper action and atmosphere. Maybe it's because of only 2 players competing, whereas there were much more players in most of the other games, but something just feels a bit off about it. Speaking of more players, here's number 8, the Legged Pentathlon. This game was crazy, to say the least. A team of 5 people had to compete in 5 Korean minigames. Dakji, the flipping cards, Biseokchigi, the flying stone, Gongi, this pebble game, Paengichigi, the spinning top game, and Jegi, this kicking game. Each player has to participate in just one of these games, and they have to pass all the minigames within 5 minutes. It's a pretty interesting idea, but it was way too insane. Plus, look who's here. Yup, that's the frontman. This man has a lot of unforgettable moments. Moving on to number 7, the jump rope. This game is again one of the easier ones. You have to cross this narrow bridge and you can't get hit by the rope, plus there's also this gap. This game was important for the plot and there were some emotional moments. For example, Gi-hoon crossing the bridge with Junhee's baby and Junhee being eliminated. Subscribe if you wanted her to survive. And to top it all off, there's this evil guy who wants to eliminate everyone and Gi-hoon fights him. Also, I shouldn't forget these dolls. The boy's name is Jo-soo and the girl's name is Young-hee. Speaking of her, here's number 6, Red Light Green Light. This game is probably the most famous game in the series because it was the first one, but it's also super simple so I can't put it higher. Sorry. You can move on green and can't move on red, nothing special about it. However, there is a special thing about this game after all. It's the only game we've seen twice in the series. In the first season, the majority of players were eliminated during this game, and it's no wonder. The chaos was really insane. But Gi-hoon saved many people in the second season by telling them what happens if you lose. Okay, it's green light now, so we quickly have to move on to number 5, the Dalgona challenge. This is also a very famous game and it's about perfectly carving out the shape in the candy. If you're not careful enough, you'll get eliminated. Plus, people had to choose a shape before knowing what's about to happen, and our beloved Gi-hoon chose the umbrella. And you probably have a similar face when you look at your test and realize that 5 hours of scrolling and 5 minutes of studying wasn't the best idea. Not gonna lie, this game was one of the most stressful ones. The players had to complete the challenge within 10 minutes, and if I were there, I would probably be eliminated because I'm kinda clumsy. And how about you? Would you survive the Dalgona challenge? Tell me in the comments. Before I show you the rest, you should consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I put a lot of effort into this video. Plus, there's a lot of interesting stuff coming about Squid Game, Marvel, DC, etc. So you don't want to miss out. Moving on to number 4, marbles. Yeah, this is undoubtedly the saddest game, and don't tell me that you weren't feeling sad while watching this scene. Poor Ali got outsmarted by Sang-woo. But there's more sad stuff. The married couple had to play against each other, then Gi-hun and Oh Il-nam. I know he's a villain, but come on, we didn't know that back then. Even though it's another simple game, it's the most emotional one of them. Plus, it shows how people can change and betray their friends. And the worst thing is that the players didn't know they were gonna play against each other. Okay, wipe your tears now. It's time for number 3. The Glass Bridge. Another stressful game. You have to choose the correct glass, otherwise you are eliminated. The players chose a number between 1 and 16 before starting the game, and Gi-hun, that lucky son of a bitch, chose 16 at the last minute. That was a huge advantage because he knew where to go, but he had to be quick because he had only a few seconds. Also, do you remember this scene? Imagine if they landed on the correct glass, and it would be just awkward. Now it's time to see what's hiding under number 2. It's hide and seek. This game was so freaking intense and terrifying, not just because of the creepy song, but mainly because of the essence of the game. Blue team versus red team. Blue team members have to hide and escape, and red team members have to find and eliminate at least one member of the blue team. This Gi-hun vs Daho scene really gave us all chills, right? Or MG Coin and Namsu being menacing and cold-blooded?
Namgyu, 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 Namgyu.
Alright, sorry, it's Namgyu, okay? Hide and seek is just one of the most brutal and stressful games in the series. Speaking of stressful games, here's an honorable mention, Russian Roulette. This scene was absolute cinema. Gi-hun and the salesman playing this brutal game. Time to say goodbye in the background, flawless acting, many details. For example, the salesman's eyes. You see, he's half scared and half confident even though he's about to lose. Yup, this is one of the best Squid Game scenes just in general. But now, it's time to finish this list. Number 1, Mingle. This game got everything. It's simple, stressful, exciting, creepy, and chaotic all at the same time. Just imagine you're spinning on this rotating platform, a children's song is playing, and then it suddenly stops, and you have to find people in the room, otherwise you're cooked. And while everyone else is scared, Thanos is just chilling with his friend Namgyu. That's one of the most hilarious moments in the series. Be sure to comment if you agree with this list in the comments. Have a great day. Bye bye.